Hey everyone, welcome back to FT News. I'm Myra. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder Season 2 ends with multiple twists, hidden identities, a shocking murder, and one final creepy message that completely changes everything for Pip moving forward. So, let's break down the full ending step by step, because there's actually a lot happening in this finale. Now, the biggest mystery this season was obviously Jamie's disappearance. At first, Pip believed his disappearance was somehow connected to Max Hastings because Jamie was secretly connected to the trial involving Max drugging and assaulting multiple girls. Especially because Jamie was linked to the mysterious woman, a witness. So naturally, Pip thought Max either threatened Jamie, silenced him, or possibly had him kidnapped. But eventually, the investigation slowly reveals something much stranger was happening behind the scenes. The entire mystery actually revolves around a fake online identity called Layla Mead. Throughout the season, Pip discovers that Layla had been talking to multiple men online using dating apps. But there was something very specific about the men she targeted. They were mostly white men around a certain age range. And Layla would immediately lose interest if their jobs didn't fit certain criteria. For example, if someone worked as a teacher or police officer, she would stop talking to them almost immediately. At first, this seems random. But later, Pip realizes Layla wasn't actually looking for romance at all. She was searching for somebody. And that somebody was Child Brunswick. Now this is where the season's biggest hidden backstory comes in. Years ago, Child Brunswick helped his father lure children to their deaths. His father became known as a horrifying serial killer, while Child Brunswick survived and eventually disappeared into society under new identities. One of the victims was the sister of a man named Charlie Green. And Charlie spent years obsessed with finding Child Brunswick to finally get revenge. That means Layla Mead never actually existed. The fake dating profile was secretly Charlie Green the entire time. Even more shocking, Charlie was the new neighbor living near Pip all season long. The quiet guy nobody suspected. And his pregnant wife Flora was secretly helping him operate the fake Layla account too. Now Jamie accidentally became part of this dangerous revenge mission. Charlie originally suspected Jamie might actually be Child Brunswick because of his age and appearance. But after realizing Jamie wasn't the right person, Charlie instead started using Jamie to help identify potential suspects. Jamie would meet these men in person and say the name Child Brunswick just to watch their reactions. And eventually, one of them reacted. That man was Stanley, the quiet security worker from the polo club. Except Stanley wasn't really Stanley. His real identity was Jack, the former Child Brunswick. The moment Jamie called him Child Brunswick, Stanley panicked because he realized his secret identity had finally been discovered. And that leads directly to Jamie's kidnapping. Stanley kidnaps Jamie and locks him inside his basement because he thinks Jamie may be connected to Layla Mead. He believes Jamie knows who exposed him. But the really surprising part is that Stanley and Jamie slowly start bonding while Jamie is trapped there. Jamie eventually learns Stanley's full story and even begins sympathizing with him. Which sounds insane at first. But the show tries to present Stanley as someone permanently damaged by his father's crimes and terrified of losing the normal life he rebuilt for himself. That's why when Connor and Ravi finally discover Jamie in the basement later, Jamie actually tells them to leave because he believes Stanley isn't truly evil anymore. Now meanwhile, Pip figures everything out almost simultaneously. She realizes Jamie was never kidnapped because of Max. He was kidnapped because he accidentally exposed Stanley's real identity. And Pip finally understands that Layla Mead was actually Charlie Green all along. So Pip sets up a trap. She messages Stanley pretending to be Layla Mead and arranges a meeting inside the abandoned building. At the same time, Ravi and Connor search Stanley's house and successfully rescue Jamie from the basement. But then the situation completely explodes. because Charlie suddenly arrives at the abandoned building holding a gun. And now everything finally becomes clear publicly. Charlie openly admits he created Layla Mead, manipulated Jamie, and spent years hunting child Brunswick. He reveals that he basically used Pip too because he knew eventually her investigation would lead him directly to Stanley. And he was right. Now Pip desperately tries stopping Charlie because she understands something important at this moment. Stanley may have done horrible things in the past, but murdering him won't fix anything. Especially because Stanley himself was manipulated and abused by his father as a child. But Charlie does not care anymore. This revenge obsession completely consumed his entire life. So Charlie shoots Stanley multiple times. Brutally. Right in front of Pip. And this becomes the most traumatic moment of the entire season for Pip emotionally. Because unlike previous cases, she directly witnesses somebody dying in front of her while trying to save them. Pip drags Stanley outside while the building burns behind them. She tries saving him. She tries CPR. But Stanley dies there beside her. And before dying, he finally tells Pip his real name. Jack. Meanwhile, Charlie and Flora escape before police arrive. And the finale intentionally leaves their future unresolved. Now emotionally, this completely destroys Pip mentally. Because after spending the entire season hunting a monster, she eventually realizes the situation was much more morally complicated than she originally believed. Stanley was guilty, but he was also deeply broken. Jamie was traumatized. Charlie became consumed by revenge. And Pip herself becomes psychologically damaged from constantly living around violence and death. But then the finale adds one final terrifying twist. When Pip returns home later, she finds her room disturbed. Papers everywhere. Her laptop open. And a threatening message waiting for her. Who will look for you when you're the one that disappears? Now this is extremely important because the show never officially reveals who sent the message. At first, Pip suspected Max earlier in the season. Or maybe Jamie's kidnapper. But now neither explanation fully fits anymore. Meaning somebody else has secretly been watching Pip this entire time. And this directly sets up Season 3. In the books, Pip eventually discovers she actually has a stalker connected to multiple old murders around Little Kilton. The deeper she investigates, the more horrifying the truth becomes because it eventually connects all the way back to the original Andy Bell case from Season 1. Which means the show is basically teasing that an even bigger danger has been hiding around Pip this entire time. And now Pip herself may become the next target instead of the investigator. That final message completely changes the direction of the story. Because for the first time, Pip is no longer chasing somebody else's mystery. Now she may be fighting for her own survival. Thank you for watching this video, sending you lots of love, and I'll see you in the next one.